Okay, getting in some breaking news now that Partha, Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee have been sent to 14 days of judicial custody. That's the breaking news update now coming in. I'll quickly go across to our correspondents and get you the details, but latest breaking news update. In fact, the court hearing their custody had reserved the order a few hours back, and getting in some news now that 14 days of judicial custody has been granted. 14 days of judicial custody, which means they will be in police custody, in custody now till the 18th of August. 14 days of judicial custody for Arpita Mukherjee, aide of Bengal Minister Partha Chatterjee. Partha Chatterjee himself, the sacked Bengal minister under the scanner in the Bengal cash scam, in whose aide's residence 50 crore and more cash was found. He's been sent to judicial custody. That's the breaking news update coming in. 14 days judicial custody for Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee. They will continue to stay in the custody and they will continue to be investigated. We are waiting for more details, of what the court has said while sending them to judicial custody. But what we can tell you as of now, it's been a big setback to both Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee, because earlier the hearing went on for several hours in the court, after which the court had reserved the order, and they have now been sent to judicial custody. The hearing concluded at about 4 p.m. and the order has now been delivered, and the order was reserved earlier, and we're getting in more news now that the ED had said earlier, ED in their arguments had said Partha is the most powerful man in this scam, and they had asked for his custody. Let me go across to Kishale, I think. Kishale is joining us. Kishale is live with us. Kishale, it's a huge setback with more details emerging. In fact, we brought details of the different the joint properties that were held by both Arpita and Partha Chatterjee. Details of how many more properties are under the scanner. And this comes days after we broke that story. It's a huge setback for them.
Exactly. Well, ED asked for this and they got this. 14 days of judicial custody till 18th August. Both Partha and Arpita is given by the court, and right now they will be taken to the judicial custody. After that, CBI also has the permission to interrogate them whenever they want. Therefore, Partha and Arpita will now, as their lawyer previously argued for a bail, they did not get that. They'll be now kept in judicial custody and they will be interrogated by the ED as and when ED wants, and that will go on till 18th August for 14 days. 14 days of judicial custody given. On the other hand, Partha Chatterjee's lawyer just said a few minutes back that Partha and Arpita do not have any connection, and ED, in a way, he indicated that ED has framed the Caesar list somehow, and that's also one of the breaking news. So at one hand, Partha Chatterjee's lawyer is trying to prove that Partha and Arpita did not have any connection. However, Republic exclusively exposed how both of them own joint properties, and we showed all the details in all of our networks, and after that it was also mentioned in the court by the ED lawyer. Therefore, ED lawyer has argued several times that both Partha and Arpita has joint properties. He showed different kinds of documents that we also exposed in our channel exclusively. Apart from that, ED lawyer said Partha Chatterjee is one of the most powerful man, is the most powerful man in this scam, and therefore he needs to be in custody so that interrogation can continue, interrogation can go on. Therefore, Partha and Arpita both are going to stay in judicial custody for 14 days now, and ED will continue with their interrogation and probably the raids that was going on continuously through the last few days. Back to the studio.
Okay, stay with me. In fact, why don't you take us through what happened in court, Kishale, for all our viewers joining us. The story of Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee has sent shockwaves across the country because he was a sitting minister in whose aide's house cash, jewelry has been found, unbelievable amounts of cash from different homes, and the number of properties are very hard to calculate for how many years all of these properties were amassed, for over a decade perhaps. Even the ED said he's the kingpin of the scam. And how did the leadership of the Trinamool Congress not know what was going on. And I think, if you look at what is happening vis-a-vis the details tumbling out, Mamata Banerjee has just met the Prime Minister some time back. We can't speculate, we can't, we can't get into details of what was discussed because we don't have that. But it's a big embarrassment also for the Trinamool Congress, isn't it? With all these uncomfortable facts now emerging. There are some reports now coming in that there was black money before demonetization that was perhaps converted into white, put into Arpita's accounts. Now, why don't you tell us what the ED said in court today to fight for the custody? Kishore.
Exactly, Niranjan. Can you believe me if I say that the lawyers of Partha Chatterjee are still now trying to prove how Arpita and Partha do not have any connection, do not have any relation?
Stay with me.